Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahans Paripacharya Astotarasya Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahans Paripacharya Astotarasya Shri Srimad Bhagavatam Bhakti Siddhanta Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय. नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर धाम की जय. वृंदावन धाम की जय. मथुरा धाम की जय. मायापुर नदी धाम की जय. जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. गंगा मई जमुना मई की जय. तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की जय. समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. So I would like to welcome all the devotees on the Zoom class, which is conducted by His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. Thank you, Maharaj, for your valuable time.
Thank you, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu, and thank you for hosting.
Thank you.
So
today is, let's see, August 7, 2024. Time is about 7 o'clock at Eastern Time, New York time, and we will begin with Canto 4, Chapter 2, entitled Daksha Curses Lord Shiva. And we begin from text number 10. I think Kendra Prabhu already put it on, that text number 10. Okay. Ayam tu lokapalanam yashundo nirapatrapa sambir acharit pantha yena swadvena dushitaha. Shiva has spoiled the name and fame of the governors of the universe and has polluted the path of gentle manners. Because he is shameless, he does not know how to act. This is what Daksha Maharaj, Prajapati Daksha, is saying in the assembly. Purport. Daksha wanted to impress upon the middle minds of the great sages assembled in that meeting that Shiva, being one of the demigods, had ruined the good reputation of all the demigods by his unmannerly behavior. The words used against Lord Shiva by Daksha can also be understood in a different way, in a good sense. For example, he stated that Shiva is Yashogana, which means one who spoiled name and fame. So this can be also interpreted to mean that he was so famous that his fame killed all the other fame. Again, Daksha used the word Nirapratap, which also can be used in two senses. One sense is one who is stunned, and another sense is one who is the maintainer of a person who have no other shelter. Generally, Lord Shiva is known as the Lord of the Bhutas, or lower grade of living creatures. They take shelter of Lord Shiva because he is very kind to everyone and is very quickly satisfied. Therefore, he is called Ashutosh. To such men, we cannot approach. To such men who cannot approach other demigods or Vishnu, Lord Shiva gives shelter. Therefore, the word Nirapakta can be used in that sense. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmritamana Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadati Sapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sachivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Dalita Shri Vishakhanditam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Prajapati Daksha continue here. He started out from let's say number 9, yeah, 9 and this number 10. So he wanted to impress upon all the other assembled demigods that, look, I'm not in fault. This is a person who didn't get up to, I mean, he didn't say, but he didn't get up to give me respect. And we all know that how great Lord Shiva is. Even his greatness is that he gives shelter to everybody, even to the lowest kind of people or lowest kind like bhutas, and they have no way out, and he gives them shelter. That's very interesting, because usually people don't bother with with this small kind of people, but Lord Shiva is open to everybody. And Prabhupada stated here, in order to make sure that we know the position of Shiva, and we don't get into the talk of Daksha, what he's saying to demigods. Okay, Maharaj, to you, sir.
I have nothing to add here.
Okay. Now, I would like to appoint Surabhi Kunj Mataji to read the chat box, if it's possible for you. Okay, I don't think we have anything in chat. So I'll go text 11.
There's a long message in the chat.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. Oh, hold on. Let's see.
From Saraswati Devi.
Oh, okay. Saraswati Mata, would you like to read that? The one you wrote, please.
I'm not sure if my microphone settings will work, but I can try.
Okay, yeah, just bring it a little closer.
Is it okay right now?
Yes.
Okay, Pranams Param Puchya Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas. I'm just repeating what I was trying to say in the last class when my microphone wasn't working. Daksh has an MO of going on a witch hunt, targeting exalted Vaishnavas. Because his deeply ingrained envy and mindset of finding the tactics of justifying his own behavior, wherein he ultimately looks like the injured party in all circumstances. We see that offensive language remains the same in both cases when he attacks Narada Muni or Shiva. He basically accuses them of being pretenders, unworthy of their status as rejected associates of the Lord. And his exposing them is actually demonstrated for all. It's noteworthy that Daksha offends Shiva during the reign of Swayambhu Manu, and he was born again in the Chakshusha Manavantara, where he cursed Narada, showing that one's particular flawed mentality remains the same in the next birth too. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Very good comments. Your microphone still has problems. Your volume moves in and out, but we could hear you. Shall we move on? Good comments. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, I'll go text number 11. Eshame shishyatam prapto yanme duhi turagrahit panim vipragni mukhatah savitrya iva sadhuvat. He has already accepted himself as my subordinate by marrying my daughter in the presence of fire and brahmanas. He has married my daughter, who is equal to Gayatri, and has pretended to be just like an honest person. Okay, Daksha's statement that Lord Shiva pretended to be an honest person meant that Shiva was dishonest, because in spite of accepting the position of Daksha's son-in-law, he was not respectful to Daksha. So this is very clear. Number 12. Gruhitva mruga shavaksha panim markatalochanaha pratyuthana vivardarhe vachapyakruta nochitam. He has eyes like a monkey's, yet he has married my daughter, whose eyes are just like those of a deer cub. Nevertheless, he did not stand up to receive me, nor did he think fit to welcome me with sweet words. Now this is getting out of hand, because he says, Lord Shiva has eyes like monkey and married my daughter. Just because Lord Shiva married daughter of Daksha doesn't mean Daksha has to say all these things, which is very sad, because even being a Prajapati in a great position like that, he should not have said all these things. Anyway, Maharaj, anything?
Yeah, we can read the purports here by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Okay.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shaminiti Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtitadeshtarani. In text 11 he says, the words can also be taken as praise of Shiva. Until today he has kept my bad habits secret. My bad behavior is secret, because he's omniscient, he's first to understand, Agrahit. Therefore he did not stand up and welcome me. However, he has understood the qualities in my daughter, equal to Savitri, whom he has married. What good behavior is this on my part? So this is particular, what shall we say, approach by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that he often takes of reanalyzing the statements made by grammatical alternative analysis and coming up with opposite meanings. So here he's done that, and in text 12 as well. He did not even respect with sweet words his father-in-law, who deserves that someone rises from his seat and addresses him. But the other meaning is, seeing mercifully materialists who are like monkeys, Markata, Lochana, he grants their desires. Yes?
Is it a peculiarity of Sanskrit grammar that this can be done? Or
No, you can do it in English too.
In English you could do it?
Srinadhan Maharaj did, sent a very clever little article around that was recommendation letters. People asked for a recommendation letter for a job, and so it included things like, I cannot praise John's work enough. Or things like, you know, some double meanings. They all could be read one way or the other. I don't know what to say about.
Is that double entendre?
Yeah, double entendre, double meaning, wordplay. It's there. It's there in Shakespeare all the time. You find him playing games. You find all sorts of authors taking advantage of double meanings in English. So similarly in Sanskrit, there are double meanings that you can take, or you can interpret. You taking the same meaning, you can interpret a sentence two ways, or you can. And in Sanskrit, a particular advantage is that you can resplit the sandhi. You can reread the words with different endings. So the sandhi, we find that in Rupa Goswami, niyamagraha. So it can either be niyama agraha or it can be niyama agraha, because they'll both join to make the same word, niyamagraha.
And these express two meanings.
Two opposite meanings, niyama agraha and niyama agraha and niyama agraha. So they mean exactly the opposite, but you have them both in the same word. We find that Rupa Goswami at the beginning of Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu offers his obeisances to Sanatan, which can either mean Sanatan Goswami or Lord Vishnu, the eternal personality of Godhead. So these things are there in English, in Spanish, in Latin, and in Sanskrit. But they're all useless unless they're applied in the glorification of Krishna, unless they're applied in relationship to the Lord. So you could say that even in the Bible there's a pun. What is that? Your name is Peter, and on this rock I'll build my church. Because Peter in Latin is Petros, which means rock. So your name is rock, and on this rock I'll build my church. Petros. Yeah, petrified rock. So your name's Peter, on this rock I'll build my church. So even Jesus has a good time with a pun there. And certainly in another league here we have Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Anyway, one of my favorites is in 10th Canto, but I'll leave that alone.
Oh, come on.
No, we'll get to it.
Okay.
So seeing mercifully materialists who are like monkeys, markata lochanaha, he grants their desires. Unfortunately, I have not properly respected with words such a person who deserves that I rise and speak politely. So we don't have the benefit of the Sanskrit text as he's rephrased it. Otherwise we'd see exactly how he's deriving these things. But we get the sense of it from hearing the meanings. Okay.
Okay, here in the chat box, Praveen says, my dear king, when a man persecutes great souls, all his benedictions of longevity, beauty, fame, religion, blessings, and promotion to higher planets will be destroyed. Yes, that's for sure.
Where are we taking this from, Praveen?
It doesn't say.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
And then Saraswati Mata said, I heard in Shiva Shakti that actually Shiva's eyes are beautiful like a lotus flower. Yes, beautiful eyes. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to read text number 12. Oh, 12 is done. Number 13. Prajapati Daksh continues. I had no desire to give my daughter to this person who has broken all rules of civility. Because of not observing the required rules and regulation, he is impure. But I was obliged to hand over my daughter to him, just as one teaches the message of the Vedas to a Sudra. A Sudra is forbidden to take lesson from the Veda because a Sudra, due to his unclean habits, is not worthy to hear such instructions. This restriction, that unless one has acquired the Brahminical qualifications, one should not read the Vedic literature, is like the restriction that a law student should not enter a law college unless he has been graduated from all lower grades. According to the estimation of Daksha, Shiva was unclean in habits and not worthy to have the hand of his daughter, Sati, who was so enlightened, beautiful, and chaste. The word used in this connection is Bhinna Setave, which refers to one who has broken all the regulations for good behavior by not following the Vedic principle. In other words, according to Daksha, the entire transaction of the marriage of his daughter with Shiva was not in order. So here again, Prajapati Daksha is blaspheming again to Lord Shiva. And of course, his daughter Sati is very beautiful, as is described here. But Lord Shiva was even very, very much magnanimous and beautiful. But here, because he thinks Lord Shiva offended him, Prajapati Daksha is saying all these things to cover himself. So, yes, Maharaj.
It's significant here how Srila Prabhupada explains this line, I handed over my daughter, I was obliged to hand over my daughter, just as one teaches the message of the Vedas to a Shudra. So Srila Prabhupada, one might think of this just as some sort of social prejudice, that we disfavor one class above and favor another class. But here Prabhupada puts it in perspective by explaining what it means, that a Shudra is not just a person who's born in a certain family, but the Haridas Thakur was born in a family lower than Shudra, and he was accepted as Namacharya by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But a Shudra in quality is a person who's unclean in his habits, who's dull, or dull. So such a person is not a person who's drinking, smoking, meat eating, taking ganja. That's not a person who's fit to receive the Vedas. The Vedas are for those who are pure in mind, pure in habits, pure in their activities, in their words. So if one has not attained that level of purity, then he's not ready for hearing the Vedic mantras. just as a person, we wouldn't waste time teaching advanced principles of law to a person who hasn't even begun law school. One has to be qualified. So that's the point. It's not birth, but it's qualification. The Shudra people that we're talking about here are people who are dull and unclean. So they're the ones who are excluded, not the members of a particular social class. Again, Vishwanath Chakravarti takes the words, says that the words can be taken as praise because he's the very form of the Supreme Brahman. No rituals need to be performed. What was it? Let's see. I have to go back and forth on a machine that's not meant for it. Lupta Kriyaya. Lupta Kriyaya. He's not interested in following the kriyas, the principles or rituals of the Vedas. Because what is that? Brahmanasya Janata. What is that? Anyway, someone can put the verse in from Bhagavad Gita. No one's cleaner than he is, Ashuchaye. He's not proud, doesn't break the rules. And here, it's Sandhi again. The word manine and binna setave can be taken as amanine and abinna setave. Because again, of the rules of Sandhi. Let's take a look back there, see what's going on. Yeah. Then he also says, seeing my own lack of qualification, I didn't want to give my daughter, but I gave her. I'm unqualified like the Shudras, Shudra Eva instead of Shudraya Eva. Unqualified like the Shudras who teach the Vedas. Okay.
Okay, on the chat box, Praveen says stand 446 in relation to Kamsa. Okay. And Ekandra Prabhu says, I was obliged is a dig to Lord Brahma.
Yep. This will be developed further in coming verses. Lord Brahma, I didn't want to do it, but Brahma, that means something's wrong with Brahma, because he asked me to give my qualified daughter to this uncivilized person. So he's obliquely, definitely criticizing Brahma, taking a dig at him without mentioning his name.
I had a question. I mean, kind of a fairly obvious question. It's probably been asked many times before in many other different circumstances, but here we hear Prabhupada saying Shudras due to their unclean habits are unqualified in every respect to hear the Vedic literatures and so forth. But we've distributed millions of books consisting of the cream of the Vedic literatures to persons who are most unqualified in every respect. So,
Sri Shudra Dvij, I don't know if was that heard? Could you hear that? Mahesh Pandit Prabhu?
Yes, I agree.
So Sri Shudra Dvij Bandhuna Trayena Shruti. The women, Shudras, and Dvijabandhus, unqualified descendants of Brahmins, are not meant for hearing the Vedas. But therefore the Puranas have been given for their benefit. Not very keen to distribute the flowery words of the Vedas. What is that? Yami mam pushpitam vacham. They'll easily be misunderstood. But the message of the Puranas gives the essence of the Vedic truth without bringing us into the realm of the Shruti mantras. And also the people will be purified by Hari Kirtan and by having the message given to them appropriately. Yeah. In one sense, we take a risk giving this message to, and sometimes people, you give them a Krishna book and they throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
So that's the risk that they, cast not thy pearls before swine, unless they cast them under the and turn empty. But we take some risk for the benefit of others who may have their lives transformed by the message of Bhagavatam.
The second part of that, lest they. We don't often hear that part of it.
Yeah, but that's cast not thy pearls before swine, lest they cast them under their feet and turn and rend thee. Prabhupada gives a similar proverb that one shouldn't feed milk and bananas to a serpent.
Yeah.
Okay, Saraswati Devi writes, Lord Shiva is beyond rules, regulations that commoners have to strictly follow. Commoners, okay. He may act like an avadut, so his action cannot be understood by commoners. Also stated by Daksha that his daughter Sati is so enlightened, which means that she knows precisely who is qualified to be her husband. He should have trusted in her selection of husband as declared by him that she is so enlightened.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I would like to invite Madhupati Prabhu. Please.
There's one more comment
Sure.
from Surabhi. Maybe you could read that. Could you read that last comment for me?
Sure. Let's see, chat. All right. You want Surabhi Kunj or no?
If you would read it, that would.
Okay, sure. Surabhi Kunj Mataji said, I didn't know Sudra had bad habits. I thought they were just the menial servant of society. I thought those who drink, smoke, etc. were lower than Sudra, that is Malacha.
Yeah, also true. Sutras may just be dull, and below that, those Sudras, they're on the edge. Brahman may sometimes have some Kshatriya tendencies, Kshatriya may have some Vaishya tendencies, Shudra may have some tendencies toward the Malechas. But yes, Sudra doesn't have to be degraded in that way. But in the Kali Yuga, good Shudras are hard to find. Okay, shall we continue?
So is Madhupati Prabhu is available?
Okay.
Thank you. Number 14-15.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Gurudas Jayadvaita Swami Tinami. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinami. Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pachadine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachadine. Preta Avesheshu Goreshu Pretai Bhutaganai Vita Atati Unmatavam Matavan Nagno Vyupta Kesho Harshandrudan Chitta Bhasmakita Snana Preta Shranashti Bhushana Shiva Upadesho hi ashivo matto mattah jana priya pati pramattha nathanam tamo matra atmaka atmanam. He lives in filthy places like crematoriums, and his companions are the ghosts and demons, naked like a madman, sometimes laughing and sometimes crying. He smears crematorium ashes all over his body. He does not bathe regularly, and he ornaments his body with a garland of skulls and bones. Therefore, only in name is he Siva or auspicious. Actually, he is the most mad and inauspicious creature. Thus, he is very dear to crazy beings in the gross mode of ignorance, and he is the leader. Purport. Those who do not regularly bathe are supposed to be in association with ghosts and crazy creatures. Lord Shiva appeared to be like that, but his name Shiva is actually fitting, for he is very kind to persons who are in the darkness of the mode of ignorance, such as unclean drunkards who do not regularly bathe. Lord Shiva is so kind that he gives shelter to such creatures and gradually elevates them to spiritual consciousness. Although it is very difficult to raise such creatures to spiritual understanding, Lord Shiva takes charge of them, and therefore, as stated in the Vedas, Lord Shiva is all auspicious. Thus, by his association, even such fallen souls can be elevated. Sometimes, sometimes it is seen that great personalities meet with fallen souls, not for any personal interest, but for the benefit of those souls. In the creation of the Lord, there are different kinds of living creatures. Some of them are in the mode of goodness, some are in the mode of passion, and some are in the mode of ignorance. Lord Vishnu takes charge of persons who are advanced Krishna conscious Vaishnavas, and Lord Brahma takes charge of persons who are very much attached to material activities. But Lord Shiva is so kind that he takes charge of persons who are in gross ignorance and whose behavior is lower than that of the animals. Therefore, Lord Shiva is especially called auspicious. Om Agnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. So here, Daksha is describing about Lord Shiva that how he is unfit to be the husband of his daughter Sati. That does not take bath regularly, and he stays in unclean places. He has all these ghosts and goblins as his associates. He smears ashes all over his body. Right. He wears a garland of skulls and bones. So he's mentioning that only by, though his name is Shiva, which means auspicious, only by his name is auspicious, but he's the most inauspicious. And the Prabhupada nicely mentions in the purport that how Lord Shiva is the most auspicious person. He's the one who is in charge of the mode of the creatures who are in the mode of ignorance, and he shows full mercy on them and slowly brings them to spiritual consciousness. One of his name is Asutosh, right? One who is easily pleased. So he's uh, in that way very auspicious that he takes charge of all these lower creatures. And just like Lord Brahma takes charge of creatures in the mode of passion, and Lord Vishnu takes charge of creatures in the mode of goodness, Vaishnavas. So from that angle, is the most auspicious person, Vaishnava Namyata Sambhu. So that way is quite advanced. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions, according to other Puranas, smearing ashes on the body is an activity of exalted Vaishnavas. By him, even the worst places, Apadesha, become auspicious. So there is no one greater than Shiva in auspiciousness, or Shiva. He is the leader of persons who are completely in ignorance. As praise, it indicates that Shiva as a pastime by his will accepts even the most ignorant out of mercy. Right. Yeah. Smearing ashes on the body is an activity of exalted Vaishnavas. Yeah. Okay, that's what I have to say.
We can see a parallel here to the activities of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada came to the Lower East Side, and the people that he associated with are exactly as described here. I think Unmatta Jana, crazy people. And Unmatta Jana, somehow Prabhupada became dear to these crazy people. They were taking LSD, they were having sex like monkeys, they had crazy philosophies, they were really, they were dirty, they were wearing long hair and dirty clothes, and yeah, just exactly like the followers of Lord Shiva. And even, one wouldn't have trouble comparing them to the followers of Lord Shiva, ghostly persons speaking crazy things, not even making sense. And Prabhupada took compassion on them. Just chant Hare Krishna, just take prasadam. Some of them were so mad, so crazy. But Prabhupada gave them the opportunity to become Krishna conscious. They all benefited. Some of them actually took up the process and became wonderful devotees. So that was Prabhupada's mercy. And an envious person can criticize someone. One Prabhupada's godbrother said, yes, I also could have had many followers if I'd been willing to accept hippies. So implying that somehow Prabhupada was low class because he was
Scraping
the bottom of the barrel. Yes, he should have been preaching Mahaprabhu's message to the professors and the intelligentsia. Instead, he was surrounding himself with these hippies and making them disciples. But that was Prabhupada's mercy, that he could take people from any section. He also had professors, but he accepted crazy people out of mercy. Lord Shiva accepts even the most ignorant out of mercy. Vishwanath Chakravarti says. So Prabhupada did exactly that.
Thank you, Maharaj. That was exactly I was thinking, and also Ekendra Prabhu was thinking the same way. And here Praveen says one NGO wanted to uplift one particular slum and send the dwellers to IT companies. When he approached one devotee, the devotee showed him how the boys in that slum were torturing the stray dogs in the street and seeking pleasure by that. They are torturing others while in the slum. What shall happen if they have money and influence? Yeah, that's for sure. Okay. Now I would like to invite Venkatesh. Venkatesh, with 10 minutes. Yes, Maharaj.
Prabhu put some a comment there, and Priti Purna also.
Okay, let's see. I missed that one. Okay. Yes, Priti Purna Madhvida, that she says, Hare Krishna Maharaj, are these words completely out of envy, or is there truth in words of Daksha about dancing and crying of Lord Shiva? It is due to being in ecstasy. Is it due to being in ecstasy out of love for Lord Krishna? Also, what does Lord Shiva do in crematorium?
He gathers ashes to smear on himself. The first answer to the question, yes, it can all be taken positively, and that's what Prabhupada does in his purport, what Vishwanath does. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Lord Shiva is actually crazy, but his craziness is to be mad with prema for the Supreme Lord. So I don't know exactly what all he does in the crematorium. Certainly he smears himself with ashes. Prabhupada later in purport mentions Gorky Shordas Babaji Maharaj, who was chanting, doing his japa by the latrine with the purpose that the superficial people would pester him with, please offer me your ashirvads and Babaji this and Babaji that. So he was chanting by the latrine. So Lord Shiva, he has his reasons. He spent his time in the crematorium. He, in so many ways, appears like a crazy person, although he's most exalted.
And a question. Of course, like you were saying, some one or maybe more Prabhupada's godbrothers denigrated Prabhupada's preaching work because of the type of people that were coming. But could it also be understood, because Prabhupada said that, my spiritual master has sent you to assist me in my mission, that it was by Krishna's arrangement that these personalities took birth in these different, seemingly very fallen circumstances to show the power, the transformative power of the holy name and the association of a pure devotee.
Yeah, it's also Krishna's arrangement that those who criticized went to foreign countries but weren't able to do anything. And Prabhupada spread the holy name of Krishna all over the world. All of these things are by the transcendental desire of Krishna. There's a comment by Kendra there, but on my screen it's too small to read.
He told me that you cover the whole thing by saying what Prabhupada did. And then Venkatesh, Pritipurna Madhvi Mataji said, thank you, Maharaj. So we are approaching the time, and I would like Krishna Arjun Prabhu. Thank you.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Gurundas Maharaj ki jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Prem Se Gaur Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha, Krishna Gopinath, Shyamakun Radhakun, Giridhar Gadana ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Mathura Dham ki jai, Navadvip Dham ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Thank you, Krishna Arjun Prabhu, for a nice kirtan. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Mahesh Pandit Prabhu. Thank you to Krishna Kantiya, and thank you to all. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Madhurati. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
Hari Hari. His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj ki jai. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you all the devotees for joining. We'll see tomorrow for Caitanya-caritamrta class at 7 o'clock. Thank you.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.